In today's video I'm going to show you a quick way to model some cultivated land for your gaming tables. I know it sounds silly, but it's a piece of a bigger plan that I will disclose in a later video. Also, this is going to be another quick tutorial, mainly because you already saw a lot of the techniques in the previous videos, so I will put a link down in the description for your reference. Let's start with a roughly beveled 10x10 MDF base primed with PVA glue. Now let's prepare the sculpting plaster and let's start gardening. Here I mixed some sculpting plaster. It came out pretty watery, but if it happens you shouldn't care too much. Plaster curing is a chemical reaction, so it will just cure at the same time. It will only have more moisture. Now cover the whole base as I showed you in the pond video until you obtain a nice and uniform flat land. Once you're done with the ground itself, we're going to build 3 horizontal raised beds where the vegetables will grow. Don't be too clean. Imagine like more a farmer losing the soil with a spade. No way that will be perfect. Just remember to leave enough space between them to simulate some small walkways and we are done. So once you're done, leave it to dry and look for a nice brown paint to cover it up. Back after 15 minutes we have a nicely cured plaster. You can press it with your fingers without squishing it. So now quickly paint the soil with a nice brown. I always use this mocha paint because it goes well with the ground cover that I found around in my area here. It's convenient because I don't need to add any other paint on top of it, saving a lot of time. The next step is placing some ground cover on the piece. If you know how farmers work the land, you probably know that cultivated soil is just that, soil. No rocks, no gravel, fine brown soil only. That's why we want to limit the ground cover application to the outside borders and the small walkways in between, but avoiding the raised beds. Once we have a solid PVA glue base, we sprinkle with what's available as a ground cover. I generally use some sieve soil that I get from a garden. We want to give it a good sprinkle to cover well. Recover and reuse all the excess when you're done. After waiting some time, you can see the glue is not even really completely dry, but we can start painting the raised beds a little bit. Here I use the same ochre craft paint you see me using all the time, but you can use whatever color you like. Just give some shading or highlighting to the soil to make it look more three-dimensional. At this point, I thought some mud would have been another nice addition, so I grabbed Vallejo Thick Mud and started applying around the beds. Sorry guys, but I didn't really realize the piece was out of focus all the time, so I'm sorry. To save some video time, I applied the first layer of dark flock off cam. I also added some PVA spots here and there so that we can start sprinkling with mid-green. This layer will be followed with some highlights here and there using light green and mixed turf, and finally some clumping foliage. You can see how I do it in my previous videos, so check it out. While applying the clumping foliage, I sort of realized the dark one resembles something like parsley or broccoli, so I just went ahead and made a whole row of plants. Do they look like parsley plants to you? They surely do a great job for me. For the middle row I decided to use these yellowish lichens to simulate some leafy green like salad mix or carrots, who knows. The scale is a little bit off, but I think they work pretty well. I glue them in small pieces using plenty of super glue. And now we have to think about something to plant on the third row. It took me some time to decide, but I came up with the idea of planting cabbages. I thought that using black pepper acorns was a clever idea, so I started recording how to do them and everything, but didn't really hit the record button on the camera, so here's the row already planted. Well, it's not that complicated, I just lapped some super glue on the ground and pressed the acorns firmly for some seconds. That's it. The idea now is to paint them with Vallejo Thick Green and dry brush some bright highlights on the wrinkles to simulate leaves with moat green and flash kits yellow. You know how to dry brush, right? So here's the final result. Pretty solid cabbages, right? And a really cool looking garden plot. So I think we can call this piece done. What do you guys think? Does it look like a good plot of cultivated land to you? Let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you all next time. If you liked this tutorial, please like and subscribe so I can keep making more. And don't forget to leave your comments and critiques in the comment section below so I can keep improving. Thank you for watching.